Well. Looks like we got ourselves another One Piece chapter. Well, howdy, y'all. My name is Texas Teching. Great state of Texas. My 10-gallon hat. Today we're going to be talking about a brand new One Piece chapter. How y'all doing today? How y'all doing? Hold on a minute. Let me go grab my ace hat, which is basically like a cowboy. Oh, wait, no, I do have a cowboy hat. Wait, hold on. I have two. So I have Ace's hat, which is a cowboy hat. I mean, it is. Just like, howdy, y'all. You know, I got that. And then, you know, I got this, like, Rick Grimes hat from, like, The Walking Dead. Like, how y'all zombies? How y'all doing today? I'm Rick Grimes from The Walking Dead. You know? Yeah. I got those. Well, howdy who? Cowboy Tekken. Dang straight. Hi from Utah. How you doing, sir? How you doing, ma'am? Sir? Ma'am? How you doing? That's the Sheriff Usopp dueled with. Yeah, the Sheriff Usopp dueled with. Daddy Masterson, yes, Daddy the father. He was a former Marine ensign turned bounty hunter. Yeah. Any advice on depression? That's a really interesting super chat to start it off with. I would recommend going to see a licensed therapist about that to maybe see if you could get some medication. I'm not a doctor. I couldn't really tell you. So just make sure you're okay, man. Is it just me having the feeling that Oda trolling us about E-Leaf? E-Leaf. Yeah, I don't know. What is E-Leaf? E-Leaf sounds like an electric cigarette. It sounds like, purchase a new E-Leaf. You know, it sounds like a kind of an electric thing or like a vape or something. I don't know. But no, Elbaf. I don't understand. Like, Oda is only trolling us about Elbaf if we don't go to Elbaf. Like if he's like, we're gonna go to Elbaf, and then we cut away for a while, and then we cut back, and it's like the Straw Hats are leaving Elbaf. Like, that was a great adventure on Elbaf. Now we're going to get the One Piece. Like, that's the only troll that really, yeah. Like, if he does that, then sure. E-Leaf. The devil's lettuce. The devil's juice and the devil's lettuce. Why does the devil make so many amazing things? The dog has lost its bone thanks to Elbaf. Yeah. Did Shanks leave already? Elbaf? Yeah, he left Elbaf a while ago. He said he was leaving. He was like on his way out when Kid decided to come a-knocking. Like, had Kid just been like an hour later, Shanks would have been gone. I have a dead pixel on my monitor. Yeah. Do you think that the rope in the OP logo was... Yeah, people have brought that up. Because of what happened with the hockey bomb and Emeth, people have actually mentioned... let me see if I can find the One Piece logo here. Yeah, people have brought up, like, the rope in the One Piece logo that the skull is holding, and it's, like, tied in a knot at the anchor. People have said, like, that's foreshadowing. Like, I don't really think it is. I mean, like, it's pirate imagery. It's an anchor tied to a rope. You know what I mean? So, like, you know, by that logic, you know, anything that is piratey based in the One Piece world has greater significance. So be on the lookout for, like, you know, Crocodile's hook is a Sideshow Awasamono grade sword. Wait a minute now, Oda. Wait a minute. Before I say that... Crocodile's hook is a Sideshow Awasamono. Ah, damn it. All right, well, okay. Fine. We'll go ahead with that. That's a bit of a stretch. Yeah, that's a bit of a stretch. But, you know, oh my god, a ship? That's foreshadowing, isn't it? Yeah, I don't think Oda was sitting there like, I have an idea. I'm going to link back to the title, to the logo. That's the thing that's going to do it. Usopp appreciation here. Yes, we did the Usopp appreciation stream last week. Yes. It would be hilarious if Elbaf just wound up being extended training, no conflict, just pure training. Also, have you heard of the artist Metal Hero? No, I have not heard of the artist. No, I don't think, like, look, it's been like 20 plus years of hype. I feel like a lot of people think because we are in the final saga, that means Oda has to be ending the series soon. And it's like, well, Elbaf cannot be that long. I've seen people saying that Elbaf's only going to be like 20, 30 chapters, maybe 40. And I'm like, dude, it doesn't matter if it's the final saga. Like, the saga we were just in, like the Four Emperors saga, that took like well over a decade to complete. You know what I mean? Like, unless Oda, and I don't know why he would be, but I mean, well, maybe for his own personal health, but he doesn't seem to be in poor health right now. But like, unless Oda has like a direct time limit, like he's like, Oda, you need to be finished with One Piece by 2027 and not a day over that. And it's like, oh man, I gotta get moving. You know what I mean? Like, unless he has a strict deadline, which I can't imagine he would, like, this has to be at a good pace. And like, 20 plus years of foreshadowing to Elbaf, I don't see Oda just being like, well, let's just have a quick little training arc, 30 chapter adventure in Elbaf and then move on to the rest of the story. I don't think he's going to do that. And you know, every single time in this story that we always think the arc is going to be shorter than it actually is. Like, people thought Egghead wasn't going to be that long. People thought Egghead wasn't going to be like, 60-something chapters. It's longer than Skypiea. People forget Skypiea was the longest arc in the entire story up until Dressrosa. All right, arcs have gotten a lot longer because there's more stuff to tell. There's more things to explore. Watch the video you mentioned Shanks being the potential villain is Oda upon making the red herring. I see what you did there. That's been a popular theory for a while that Shanks is going to turn out to be the main villain. I don't think he's going to turn out to be a villain. I think it's going to be a thing where Shanks' family is going to be a villain. So Shanks is a good guy. Well, ostensibly, he's a pirate, He's murdered people before, but like his dad, Garling, is going to be really freaking evil, and his brother, or possibly hot sister, is going to be really, really evil. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's going to be the twist on it. If anything, I could see Shanks having, like, the Davy back with the Straw Hats at the end, like a friendly competition, not like Shanks is going to turn evil and try to murder everybody. Have you heard you talking about Dadadan a bit? Do you think they'll do a video on it soon? I probably won't. Maybe I'll do a collab with Spooky, because Spooky got me into it. Maybe me and Spooky will do a stream or something about Dadadan. But it's a really good manga. Yeah, I should recommend it. And the anime is coming out this fall. I think this September or October it's coming out. It's looking really good. I don't mind Elbaf being long. Like, nobody should mind. Okay, I'm not going to tell you how to feel about the story, but personally, I would be like, it'd be weird to me if after all this time, after all this build up to Elbaf, there's somebody out there that's just like, Elbaf? Nah, I don't want to see a long Elbaf arc. I just want to see like a 20 chapter in and out kind of thing. That doesn't make any sense to me as a One Piece fan, but hey, maybe you just don't give a shit about the Giants. I mean, yeah, if you don't care about the Giants, if you don't care about Usopp, then it's just like, yeah, I don't give a shit. Let's just hurry up and get through Elbaf and move on to the rest of the story. But I feel like this has been built up for so damn long that it has to be at least as long as Egghead, probably longer, Egghead was almost 2 years, yeah. Also, it's weird to me that, like, I don't want this story to be sped up near the end. A lot of manga do that, and it's really frustrating, and I don't think it's because of the mangaka. It's usually, well, sometimes the mangaka might have other shit going on, like there's issues with health or family health and stuff like that, so that might be why they want to just end it as quickly as possible. That makes sense. But a lot of times also I feel like it's editor interference and, like, Shueisha kind of being like, hey, let's hurry this shit up. Come on. And I don't think that's going to be the case with One Piece. Do you think Luffy will go rescue Garp when he heard Garp is captured? Maybe Dory and Broggy follow him for another rescue arc. Yeah, I feel like all that's going to be resolved without the Straw Hats directly traveling to a place to solve it. I'm not saying the Straw Hats might not be players in this, but like I don't think it's going to be a situation where Luffy and his entire crew are going to go to Elbaf and then they're going to backtrack to Hachinosu to rescue Garp. I don't think that's going to happen. But the Straw Hats may be involved in other ways. Maybe they freeze Garp and take him to another location, and then the Straw Hats are there and just whatever. Do you think Luffy will go? Oh, I just answered that one. Have you watched any of Melon T's video essays? No, I have not. I like video essays, though. They are cool. Elbaf, where Usopp gets to hold a 500-ton hammer. Yeah, I mean, like Mjolnir. That's the idea. I mean, we did a whole Usopp stream where we talked about Elbaf and him holding, like, the hammer of Thor and the spear of Odin and all that crazy, all the magical Nordic stuff. Do you think we'll see a Rouge in Elbaf? I mean, like, yeah, I kind of want to see him either involved pretty damn soon. Honestly, if Elbaf's going to be a thing where, like, Eneru comes back, that would actually even be cool. Like, they climb up to the top of the world tree, And at the top of Yggdrasil, they see the moon, and then and then Eneru comes down or something. Is Fooly Cooly still your favorite anime? Yeah, it probably will be for the rest of my life, just because it's a very significant anime, because I was like a teenager when I watched it, and it was really important to me at that time. So it's like, there's other anime that are better quality than Fooly Cooly, obviously, but like in terms of like me personally, it's a very important anime. So it's like my gateway anime, kind of. So I'm gonna keep it with that at the moment. Makes me really think of One Piece. Oh, yeah, okay, I'll check them out. I might have seen some. I've watched a lot of crazy One Piece content over the years on YouTube. You know, sometimes I don't pay attention exactly to the name of the channel that I'm watching, but I occasionally will watch, like, random video essay or discussion, yeah. Do you think Bonnie will join the crew? No, I don't think Bonnie will join the crew. The connection to Luffy is way too strong in recent chapters. I mean, like, at the end of every arc, Oda basically sets it up like there's a character that has to join the Straw Hats, the connection and the vibe and the relationship with the Straw Hats works too well, and it usually doesn't end up happening. So, like, no, I don't think Bonnie is going to join, no. There's so much you can do with Nordic gods. I mean, yeah, like, there's so much in this. Like, I do not see this being a short arc. I do not see Elbaf being shorter than Egghead. I don't see... Egghead was, what, 66 chapters? I don't see Elbaf being less than 60 chapters, and even that doesn't seem right. I'm thinking 80 at minimum. Do you think Yamato will die to Blackbeard? If we are settling in for, like, a long arc coming up, and maybe One Piece not ending until like 2030, 2031 or something like that, then we have all the rest of Yamato's cover story to get through at a nice, easy pace where you don't have to worry about hurrying things up here. I really like the 4Kids dub streams, but never got the chance to see them all. Yeah, some of them got copyright claimed and are gone, and like, I don't think I have copies of those, so some of them might just be gone for good. Or rather, they're on the channel, but they're like blocked worldwide because of the animation. Yeah. Really happy to see Mayumi Tanaka and Kazuya Nakai are going to be in Dandadan. Yeah. Really looking forward to the Dandadan anime. When JJK are seinen like Homunculus, Billy Bat, 20 Cent Boy. Oh yeah, JJK. I mean, like, I haven't seen any of those, but I know their names. Yeah, Elbaf being 80 to 90 chapters tracks. Like, yeah, like, we don't want to end this too quickly. It's the final saga, but we can't rush this. For one time, I would like a manga to end at a nice pace without it seeming like hits the gas pedal at the very end. Because that happened with Bleach. It happened with Naruto. Like, can we ease up near the end? Like, we don't have to, like, so many manga end with it like, all right, we only got 10 chapters left. Oh, shit, let's go! You know, it's like, whoa, can we ease it up here? Why did Bleach have to end in 6 fucking chapters? Why did Naruto have to end the way it did? I mean, Naruto's ending wasn't that bad. I mean, like, I shouldn't be saying that, but like, the ending with that was kind of like, the Sasuke-Naruto fight at the end was really just like we expected it, but it was like, okay, we saved the world, we defeated Kaguya, and Sasuke's like, yeah, but me and you still need to fight. It's like, oh shit, we do. And then it's like, they do. And it's like, all right, that seemed a little bit tacked on near the end, but okay. My hero was rushed. Yes, it was. I just don't get it. I don't know what it is. Is it really a thing where Shueisha goes up to these mangakas and are like, hey, the time to hurry this up. We got other stuff coming in the magazine. Beat the final villain and then end the manga in 2 chapters. Is that the practice that most of it works with? Because it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I'm gonna throw a wild idea out there. I'm gonna throw an insane, wild, revolutionary idea out there, okay? You beat the final villain, and then you have another 20, 30 chapters to wrap everything up at a nice, easy pace. Whoa! Revolutionary! Whoa! Incredible! Whoa! Nobody would ever go for that! Would you do a Brownbeard video? You know what? Yeah, let's talk about Brownbeard. He was a fun guy. He was a crocodile. Is my fan mail address still the same? Yeah, it should be, the Bellwood one. Yeah, if it has Bellwood in it, then yeah, that's the correct fan mail. Yeah. The world isn't ready for my genius. Just because the main villain is defeated doesn't mean it has to end in 2 weeks. Like, there's other stuff that needs to be addressed here. Dr. Stone, oh my god, that ending. Don't get me started on the ending of Dr. Stone, man. Don't get me started on that shit. Oh, God, I love Dr. Stone. That was such a good manga. The ending of that was, oh, man. Teching, would you ever do a tier list of how One Piece characters would fare in the Game of Thrones world? We kind of already did that. We did a video where I did the Straw Hat tournament, where each of the Straw Hats had to compete in different competitions, and there was one competition that Zoro and Robin were in. It was like who would win the Game of Thrones? Like if Robin and Zoro were in the Game of Thrones universe, which one would succeed? And it was a really interesting conversation because Zoro's like this super powerful warlord type, but Robin is like brilliant and very, very tactical. So yeah, it was an interesting conversation. Rank your favorite Gorosei best to worst in their base form. Okay, my favorite is probably going to be Marcus Mars. And then after Marcus is probably Ethan. After Ethan is probably Top Man, then Peter, and then Saturn. Saturn's probably my least favorite. Yeah, Shueisha just likes to rush endings to get on to the next new series. It does seem like that, doesn't it? But at the same time, it's so weird because it's like, dude, My Hero Academia, this was a pretty well-performing manga in this magazine for 10 years. You think you can give it a little bit of respect by allowing, all right, can we just have a nice, take as much time as you need, Horikoshi? Let's have a good ending to this, you know? It's a business, I get it, but I would rather keep it with it for as long as possible. Do you think that with the main Stella body having been eliminated, will the world government... I feel like this is a comment that was stopped halfway, so maybe... Let me know what you meant by that. I'm not exactly sure what that indicates. Bleach didn't get the respect it deserved. No, I mean, Bleach... Bleach was like, hey, 6 chapters, wrap this up. That was Bleach. That was Bleach. Hey, Teching, what events characters do you want to focus on before we get to Elbaf, and do you think Arouge will fight there? If we're going to cut all over the world, I mean, this is probably going to be a longer cutaway than normal. Normally, it's only a chapter or two. This time, it's probably going to be a lot longer, just because we have so many other things going on in the world right now that we set up during Egghead. So, I don't know. I want to see Arouge. I want to see what the Marines are up to. We're probably going to get the reaction to the reaction of Vegapunk's message. So there's going to be a lot of stuff to see in the world. So don't be upset if we don't cut to Elbaf immediately. It might take 4, 5, 6 chapters. I love the way you broke down both characters' chances of ascending the throne. It was hoping that we could get a full tier video. Yeah, I mean, I could definitely do that. The big question of that one I remember is Zoro is crazy strong, right? And he has Conqueror's Haki, so he can knock out normal people. But I'm thinking okay, well, what number of people could Zoro take in a fight? You know what I mean? Because at a certain point, it gets absurd. You know what I mean? If you had 10,000 well-trained soldiers, could they take on Zoro? Okay, what about 100,000? Okay, what about 1 million? Okay, what about 5 million? At a certain point, you're going to be all right, this is ridiculous. Zoro's not fighting 1 billion soldiers. I don't give a shit how strong he is. Eventually, he's going to get hit. It's going to get worn down at some point. I really hope we get a chapter of Dragon doing something. Yeah, that's how low the bar is on Dragon at some point. Can we just get a chapter where Dragon does anything? Watch what you say. Next chapter will be Zoro. No, next chapter will be Dragon making himself a latte and be yes, Dragon's famous chocolate latte. Hey, he's doing something. Zoro versus 1 billion lions. Yes. Yeah, we're going to see the fallout of Vegapunk's message for sure. Absolutely. We'll have reactions to all of the reactions. At the start of Vegapunk's message, he made it sound like he predicted the 1 meter level rising, but he didn't. He already knew when he recorded it since that happened 6 days ago. Yeah, I guess that's the case. I don't know what to tell you. I'll be honest with you, reading a lot of that Egghead stuff and that explanation in the last chapter really kind of showed me that, I don't know if all of this lines up with... I'd have to go back and look at every single event in the arc and make a note of everything that Vegapunk said and then see if any of it contradicts any other else. But I think it does. I don't think it's a seamless thing. I think there's plenty of things you could point at to be hey, he said this, but this was actually what happened. This makes no sense. Which is okay. I mean, Oda's not perfect, but I think a lot of it was needlessly complicated. It didn't need to be. Although, as for Vegapunk leaving, a lot of people have brought up, like, a couple of things because why doesn't Vegapunk just leave? And a lot of people bring up, he's like, well, Vegapunk is an old man and he feels guilty for a lot of the stuff that he did. So this might be more of like, yeah, he's not 100% guaranteed to die, but from Vegapunk's perspective, he's probably looking at it like, you know what, it is time I paid the piper on a lot of this stuff, right? So he might have been like, I maybe in a certain sense, Vegapunk wanted to. He wanted to get out of there. He wanted to go off into the next life and whatever because of all the stuff he's did in his life. Because it seems to weigh heavily on his conscience that he didn't do more. He didn't do certain things. So in that regard, I could see it why he didn't leave the island. A lot of people bring up is like, well, they couldn't have captured York early because if they captured York early, then the government might have been tipped off and sent the thing earlier than they expected. Even in that case, I feel like you could have still thrown York in the jail cell and at the very least remove her from the hierarchy commands. Like, can you not reprogram the hierarchy? Like, that would have been fun to remove her from the command structure and then throw her in prison and then work on something else. Like, even knowing that you're on a clock, there's still more that you could have done. Here's another question, and I was pondering this, was there any necessity? I'm not saying that there couldn't be some explanation if you look at it a certain way, but was there a necessity to wipe their memories? Was that a complete and utter necessity? That had to be done. There's no way this could have worked without their brains getting wiped. Because I really don't see that. I can see the explanation that they say in the chapter, hey, we got to wipe our memories to make sure York doesn't know anything's going on. But did you have to do that? Because I feel like you could have just pretended and everything would have been fine. Apparently, yes. No, I don't think there was a necessity to do that. Because the way Vegapunk was talking about it was... And also, he leaves himself a note. It's like, hey, I gotta wipe my brain to make sure we don't tip anybody off. And then I'll leave myself a note with the information that I just released. Like, hey, the government knows you're researching the Void Century. Like, okay, Vegapunk, if he lets that be known, then that's gonna tip York off. So, the whole thing just... I don't know why he had to get brain erasure involved. I don't know, the whole memory, amnesia thing. See, I'm very... With the amnesia trope, I don't like that shit, all right? You got to use that shit sparingly in your story, and Oda's done that 3 times now, okay? And I'm like, all right, Oda, you're doing the memory wiping thing. You did it with Sabo, and then you did it with Big Mom, and now you're doing it with Vegapunk. All right, can we let's slow down a little bit on the amnesia memory wiping thing, okay? It's when you start getting a lot of memory wipes involved in a story, I think things get pretty convoluted pretty quickly. Yeah, I don't think this new context was necessary. Yeah, I don't think so either. Vegapunk seems like a guy who can't lie to save his life. No, he was lying, though. There was a scene when York comes over and is watching him mess with the Iron Giant, and Vegapunk lied to her and pretended that everything was normal, and he was lying about what he was doing, and he seemed to do a perfectly good job of it. York believed him. He's like, oh, York, is that you? Oh, I'm just messing with the Iron Giant. You know how it is, trying to get the Mother Flame to work. And she's like, oh, yeah, I hope we can do that someday. Oh, I hope we can too. You have a good day. He seemed to be doing fine lying there. I don't see why you had to wipe your memory. It's Sabo time. About Game of Thrones, just remember on Fishman Island, Sanji and Zoro, yeah, they each knocked out 50,000. But that's 50,000, not 1 million. That's a very different number. There's got to be an upper limit. Upper limit. I will cook breakfast with a fire pit. He lied! I would like to cook breakfast, have a good breakfast in the middle of the frontier, out in the middle of nowhere, cooking on a fire out in the Great Plains, just like the pioneers did. Yeah. It definitely feels like he watches soap operas. Yeah. My mom loves, what is it? Bold and the Beautiful. That's her one that she watches. Oh, 100 doll hairs from CI23422. Hey, Teching, with regards to the lack of bounty hunters, I would say that Crocodile has a good monopoly on that for years. It could explain why he had so much money with Baroque Works generating money, at least a callback to bounty hunters besides Johnny and Yosuke. I always wanted, and I guess this is kind of what we got with the Cross Guild. Thank you, by the way. $100 donation. I always wanted Crocodile to open, like, make a new Baroque Works with, like, a bunch of, like, the best bounty hunters in the world. Like, a lineup of, like, oh, these are the greatest bounty hunters that ever lived in One Piece. Now, we kind of got that with the Cross Guild, but we don't know anybody in the Cross Guild other than Mihawk, Buggy, Crocodile, and, like, Buggy's original crew. Like, we don't really know anybody else. So I'm assuming those, like, probably are some good, like, mercenaries. Like Hyruden, this is important. Hyruden and the others were, I think, classified as mercenaries, and then after the events of Dressrosa, I think they formed, they're like, no, screw that, we're going to bring back the new Giant Warrior Pirates or whatever, right? So, yeah. The mountain had a strength of 10 to 20 men. Yeah, that's another thing, too. Like, a lot of the people that fought at the plaza, Fishman Island, were, like, normal citizens that were just, like, roped into fighting with Horde. Like, if you had a bunch of really well-trained... Like, Conqueror's Hockey is not going to work on everybody. Like, Rayleigh used Conqueror's Hockey at the auction house, and it knocked out all of the civilians, but it didn't knock out Sachi and Penguin, who are, like, clearly not super powerful, but they had enough will to resist that, you know? That old man who killed T-Bone. I wish they would have done that a little differently in the anime. They didn't show it, but I wish that it would have been a thing where T-Bone, like, offered his own life rather than, like, an old man snuck up on him and, like, stabbed him. That seemed to be the implication of how it went down, and I don't think that's how it would have went down. Can we say that Buggy is a clown from space? I want that plot point in One Piece. All right, Buggy's a clown from space. There you go. Thanks, Q-Rim, for the 20. Not gonna lie, my favorite quote of the chapter was Vegapunk's, most people let their greed run amok, and I went ahead and personified mine. Yeah, really, like, look, if you're gonna make clones of yourself, and it's like, I'm gonna make 6 identical, not identical, I guess, 6 clones of myself that are each personifications of different aspects of me, one of which is going to be evil, and one of them's going to be greed. Did Vegapunk ever stop for 2 seconds? Like, maybe personifying all of my evil in one body is maybe a bad idea. Or all my greed in one body is a bad idea. Nah, probably not. Being smart doesn't automatically mean you're wise. That's true. There's a difference between intelligence and wisdom. That's why they're different stats in D&D. He's the smartest man alive doesn't mean he can be blinded by panic and guilt. No, that's true. I agree. That's fair. Rayleigh could have knocked them out if he wanted to. Because the idea seems to be like he released a burst of Conqueror's Hockey in the whole hall equally amongst everybody, and like Kid resisted it and Law resisted it, but Sachi and Peng were able to resist it too. That's important to understand there. Who is the Wisdom King? Luffy. It's funny why the evil one didn't do anything yet. Yeah, I expressly made Lilith the thumbnail of this just because, like, she didn't even show up in the last chapter, but she was mentioned a few times, and I was like, you know what? Sure. Let's do that. Sure. Let's see. Where was all the Vegapunk title cards here? Oh, here they are, yeah. Evil Lilith. Where was this T-Bone death? In the last episode of the anime. Could we stop by Sphinx Island to see Ace's grave? I don't think it's the same island as Sphinx. It's a different island, at least the way that Oda drew them in the manga. It's close to it, but it's not the same island. I wonder if she'll play a role. Oh, Lilith definitely will. Yeah, I mean, Lilith is the only surviving Vegapunk that is still, like, ostensibly good. I mean, she's evil, but she's good. I mean, she's not like York. So, yeah, Lilith is going to survive, and she's definitely going to be relevant future, yeah. Lilith is now the... You know what? More so than Bonnie, I would rather have Lilith join. Yeah, why not? I'd be all right with that. Lilith becomes the 11th member of the Straw Hat Crew, the Straw Hat Crew's scientist. Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's Lilith for crewmate. Let's do it. Come on, guys. Let's do it. Come on. Who's with me? Let's go. Woo! Lilith! If only Edison could have joined. Yeah. If only Edison could have joined, man. It would have been perfect. Would have been great. You could have had a little robot buddy. But all we got is Lilith. Just all we got's a sexy lady with the hair thing covering one of her eyes, which is really hot for some reason. Let's just roll with that. Let's just roll with that, I guess. I suppose. I'm up for that. Who do you think will inherit Vegapunk's will? Well, I mean, like, Vegapunk's dream is to make the internet. I guess Lilith's going to have to do that now. I mean, Vegapunk's brain is still alive, so, like, he's technically not dead yet. Like, his brain is still alive and active, right? Bon Clay. Bon Clay. Yeah, Bon Clay will pick up where Vegapunk left off, for sure. I know, I don't remember the Caesar for Straw Hat Scientists. Were people actually saying Caesar was going to join the Straw Hats? I don't remember that too much. Yeah. I'll go Lilith on that one. Do you think Chopper has become more of a mascot rather than a character? Chopper has never been one of the stronger members of the Straw Hats. So, like, if you just mean by, like, has he fought a lot? I mean, not really. I mean, he fought Queen a bit, but, like, obviously he's not strong enough to defeat Queen. So, like, Oda's not going to, like, give, like, Chopper a crazy victory if he's not strong enough to do it. He just has another role. I just feel like a lot of the Straw Hats didn't really get a chance. I think what Oda did in Egghead was focusing way too much on other characters, and that was cool. That was really neat to see the wider world and what's going on with everybody else, but I think as a trade-off for that, we really didn't develop the Straw Hats that much in Egghead. Robin got some stuff. Luffy did. I mean, that's kind of it. I mean, maybe a little bit of development with Zoro because of S-Hawk and Mihawk and maybe Jinbei and S-Shark and stuff. Maybe you could argue that. Frankie didn't get really much of anything. That was an issue. I mean, maybe once again, maybe if Egghead was longer and you could have focused on the Straw Hats more, because that does annoy me that Frankie really didn't do much. I mean, he fought, he had fights, but, like, there was no... You'd think this would be a moment where Frankie's like, I'm going to make a Vegapunk. Can you make me a new, like, laser cannon or something? Or you could get some really cool power-up for me? And you'd think that would be, like, a big deal. And it just wasn't. Although, I was thinking, like, it still could be. Because I was thinking about this. The civilians that left the island are heading somewhere, right? Like, the scientists that were all researching everything, they were on a ship. I guess they're going to Elbaf. Where else would they go? You know, the world government wants them dead too, so, like, just go to Elbaf. So then by the time they get there with Lilith, and, I mean, they might have the scientists there, they might be able to keep doing research on a limited level, so I don't know, maybe Frankie could get something. Yeah, Frankie beat a Vice Admiral. That's really all he did in the arc, though, but we didn't really get any moment where he was, like, sitting down and, like, having a chat with Vegapunk about stuff. Like, there was one scene where he mentions he runs on cola, and Vegapunk was like, cola as a power source? Egads! You know, like, that was funny, but, like, I wanted to see way more of that stuff, you know? I also wanted to see Frankie get, like, C-Prism stuff in Wano. Like, not even C-Prism bullets, but, like, couldn't we have given Frankie, like, a C-Prism gauntlet or brass knuckles in Wano? Like, there just seems to be a lot of wasted opportunities with this, like, the Straw Hats in the last couple of arcs when it comes to power-ups. You know, if it isn't Luffy that gets Gear 5th, and then Zoro who gets Conquerors, Sanji that gets Ifrit, I guess Chopper got a power-up, Robin got a power-up. But other than that, Nami got a power. Okay, so they are getting power-ups. It's just for some reason Frankie didn't get anything. Brook didn't get anything. Jinbei, I guess, doesn't need one because he just got there. But yeah, I guess now that I'm looking at it, Usopp, Frankie, and Brook haven't really gotten anything major in a while. Like, since, like, Dressrosa-ish. Because that's when Usopp got observation. Frankie really hasn't had any upgrades at all since the time skip. Brook really hasn't. I guess Brook had, like, the thing where he strummed the guitar and knocked out all the chest soldiers, but that was more of, like, a situational thing because of Big Mom's ability clashing with his ability. That wasn't, like, an ultimate power-up. Yeah. That was more of like, that wasn't like Brook learned a special technique to knock anybody out with a strum of his guitar. That was because they had the souls of other people in them, and he had the soul, so he had the Yomi Yomi no Mi, which can control souls. So that was like a niche kind of ability that he really can't use all the time. So that's not really much of a power-up. Yeah. You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir. The Frankie Shogun can breathe fire now. I mean, like, okay. Yeah. Frankie's hockey punch. We don't even know if that was hockey yet. Like, that was something that was probably, like, contextually, I don't think it was, that's Frankie's supposed to have conquerors there. I mean, armament there. I just created a clips channel for your stream content. I have sent you 2 emails to acquisition. No need to address here. Answer those. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll get back to you, I guess. Yeah. Choppers hasn't had an upgrade since the time skip. Yeah, no, he got an upgrade. He got the better Rumble Ball that can, like, he can stay in Monster Point longer now. That was the power up he got at the end of not Elbaf, Wano. Yeah. Yeah, that was weird. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah. I'll get back to you in the email. Sure. Yeah. Would you consider Zeus a Straw Hat? I would, I mean, like, I would consider him in the Straw Hat in the same way that, like, if we consider Vivi a Straw Hat, in the same way Karu would have been, like, because Karu and Vivi are, like, a package deal. So, like, you know, if you have Vivi, Karu's there. So is Karu, like, the 12th member of the Straw Hat crew? Like, how does that work? Yeah. Chopper got drugs as a power-up. Yeah, he got drugs. Can we consider Beppo's upgraded Rumble Ball? Yeah, that's a power-up. That's definitely a power-up, yeah. Only if Enma or Kabuto are a Straw Hat too. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the Kabuto is a living thing. It's a plant. I don't know if you classify Enma as a living thing, but yeah, the Kabuto certainly is, yeah. What about the power pills? You mean the energy steroid? Steroids! They're on roids! I love how after the time skip, it's like the Straw Hats are really powerful, right? So they can walk through pretty much anybody, but they still need to have villains that can go up to them. So Oda's solution to that was just like, let's just give these, the Fishmen, because if Horty just went up like the way he was and fought against any of the Straw Hats, they could kick his ass. So it was like, let's just give him roids! Put a shark on steroids and see what happens. Yeah. I imagine there might be some left, energy steroids, but yeah, I mean, probably not very many, because Horty was doping himself up on a lot of them. I absolutely hate the new Monster Point. What do you mean the new Monster Point? I think oh, you just mean the new Monster Point, like it's Chopper but in control. Yeah, I mean, like that kind of takes away some of the intimidation factor away from it, certainly. But yeah, Cocaine Shark. Oh God, please don't say Cocaine Shark. That'll be the next movie. Although I did like Cocaine Bear. Cocaine Bear wasn't a bad movie. I thought it was okay, honestly. Me and my mom and my friend Chris watched it, and I'm like, honestly, it's a movie. It's fine. It was a lot better than a lot of the paint by numbers shit that comes out of Hollywood. You know, I'll take it. Sure, fine, why not? Why is Beppo white? He's a polar bear. He's a polar bear. Oh, my name is Chris too. All right, Chris. Woo, Chris. Cocaine sharks are real. Yeah. What if Kabuto is Oh, it's armament hockey. That's his weapon. Yeah, maybe. No, it isn't. But maybe. But it isn't. Was it ever explained how exactly Vegapunk split his consciousness? No, it was just, he's science, man. He could just do that. It's also kind of, like, vague because, like, the satellites are apparently robots because they can, like, we saw the inside of Atlas. Like, Atlas's, like, face is, like, robotic. Like, she got punched and, like smoke started billowing out of her. but then Shaka gets shot and he's bleeding. Like, he gets shot in the head and it's blood. So it's like, are some of them organic? Are some, because Edison and Pythagoras are clearly robots. Atlas, I guess, is an android, so like looks like a human on the outside, but inside she is a robot. York, Shaka, and Lilith all look like regular humans, though. You know, so it's no, it was blood. It was red in the anime. Definitely red in the anime. If it was supposed to be oil, they messed up. Yeah, maybe some of them are cyborgs? Maybe. Deadpool versus Wolverine versus Luffy. Who wins? I haven't seen it yet. I want to see it still. Yeah. Tekken, would you say the Admirals are ass compared to the Yonkos? I would say that if you put a one-on-one fight, the Yonko would probably win. Like, Kuzan versus Kaido, I'd say Kaido would ultimately beat him. Wolverine and Deadpool, they don't need 10 minutes to rest. Okay, yeah, I guess. Yeah, I'm not much into the whole, like, comic book characters versus anime characters debate. Because I'm not really way into comic books. Not way into it. Also, there are some feats in comic books that are ridiculous. Like, feats in comic books, like how much could, like, Superman could probably, like, blow up the universe 10 times over if he probably wanted to. There's probably some, you know, comic book somewhere where it's mentioned that, like, you know, Superman sneezes and destroys a solar system. It's probably in there somewhere. You know, like, that's really absurd shit. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I like Superman. Yeah, Superman destroys a star. Yeah, okay. 3 trillion to be exact. Yeah, I mean, like, what the fuck do you power scale that? Like, how the fuck do you do that, you know? That actually happened. See, like, I just made that shit up off the top of my head. He did he sneezed and in a solar system was destroyed. Yeah, so what the fuck? How do you even do anything like that? You can't. It's just different worlds, man. Different mediums with different structures. You know? Oh, man. Yeah, the absurdity of the Flash's feats. I mean, it gets ridiculous to the... In some way, it does seem fun. It seems fun to make a superhero that can just break the laws of reality in so many ways. It's absurd. Like, I'll make a superhero. He can snap his fingers and create 1 trillion universes, and then compress all the universes in his fist, and then punch somebody really hard. It's like, that is absurd. It's like, yeah, but it's cool, right? Sounds cool as shit. Silver Age bullshit. Always a wild time, yep. Yeah. That's why One Punch Man is really funny. Yeah, One Punch Man, people think One Punch Man is ridiculous. One Punch Man is like, compared to a lot of that Silver Age and Golden Age bullshit, nothing on Saitama. Like, Saitama's stuff is even paling in comparison to half of that stuff. Yeah. And then you just have Batman. Yeah. Anyway, getting back to the chapter. So, yeah, I mean, like, I went over a lot of the backstory stuff. I feel like, okay, I'll be straight up. I don't even feel like that 2-week flashback was even necessary. Like, when I saw, I was reading it in the spoilers, and I'm like, okay, I guess we're going here, but, like, I don't know why we had to. Like, did Oda feel like nothing, like maybe, I get the impression Oda felt like none of this made sense, so he's trying to go back and make it make sense, even though in doing that, it kind of made it even more complicated and convoluted. Like, I feel like Oda didn't even need to do that. Like, I feel like it made sense the way that it was without including that backstory. Like, if you take that flashback away from this, I don't think things make any less sense. Yeah. Yeah, that was my impression with it. I feel like he was maybe going a little bit too overboard with it, and I feel like that wasn't necessary. I still liked the chapter. It's just that, you know, yeah. You know what? I liked... You know what my favorite part of the chapter was? It was Sanji having that moment with Vegapunk. When Sanji was looking at Vegapunk and he was like, you know, what was that crazy shit you were saying to me, Vegapunk? You know, like, what is this going on? It's like, so from like Sanji's perspective here. Maybe Sanji carries on the will of Vegapunk. Who knows? Also important because Vegapunk used to work with Judge, and that's Sanji's dad, so there is a connection there. There is a connection there. Yeah. Do you think that Fujitora and Greenbull were members of the Gods Knight, since it would be kind of weird to just grab two random guys to be admirals? No, I don't think they were Celestial Dragons or Gods Knights. I don't think they were random guys, though. I think they were really strong civilians that were off in the world doing their own thing. Like, I don't know what the deal with Greenbull was, but I think Fujitora was a brilliant sword master, maybe originally from Wano, traveling the world. He saw all the horrors of the world. He blinds himself. He's like, screw this. I am going to sequester myself deep in the mountains. I'm going to work on my swordsmanship, and I'm just going to stay out there. And then at some point, Akainu found out about him, and Akainu maybe started talking to him. And then one day after the war, during the time skip, Akainu takes over. He institutes a military draft, and he's like, we need some of the strongest civilians in the world to come and join the Marines for this fight. And he knew about Fujitora, so he went and drafted him, and he's like, you're going to be an admiral now. Come and work for the Marines. And maybe Fujitora was like, after being meditating in the mountains for like 20 years or some shit, maybe Fujitora was like, all right, you know what? Maybe if I join the Marines and I become an admiral and I have a high enough position, maybe I could change the world for the better, and maybe that was his idea. That's the way I think how Fujitora's flashback works. He doesn't know what the One Piece is yet. No, he mentioned that multiple times. He just, whatever it is, he hopes the Straw Hats get it. Yeah, I don't think they were. I think Fujitora was just completely isolated from society. I don't know. So Greenbull is interesting because he has this tattoo on his chest, right? And let me just pull this up here and show it to you, if it properly converts over to it. No, it doesn't. Hold on. It's doing that again. Okay. So, Aramaki, Greenbull, Ryokyugu, he has this tattoo on him, right? And that tattoo is double... Okay. It's the YouTube unalive word that is iffy to say. Double unalive at Death River, okay? So, implying two people both... like together, right? And it's an implication, it's a reference to, I think, a Rakugo play. I don't know if it's mentioned. I think it's mentioned in SBS. The way the story goes, I believe, is it's a man and a woman that are in love, and they have like a tragic, like a Romeo and Juliet kind of tragedy ending. Like they both like end up dead at the end of the play kind of thing. It's also a reference to, if you ever see the last arc of Bleach, Shunsui's Bankai has a similar implication. So maybe Aramaki, at some point he was in love with this woman, and something happened and she died, and he was supposed to die too, but he didn't, and now he's just all jaded and he hates, he's a very prejudiced, very racist kind of guy, and he's just like, the world government's absolute, you guys have no rights because you're not allied with the world government, that's just the way it is, you all have you have no rights anymore, you have no right to resist, the Marines, you're lower than dirt, basically. And so that's kind of the way he is right now. He's a big Akainu fanboy, because he looks up to Akainu. Like, I like that guy's style. I want him to respect me. I want him to look at me and be, like, oh, man, you're a good guy, Aramaki. So he's actually kind of more dangerous than Akainu, in my opinion, because he is trying to impress the guy that is already very totalitarian and dogmatic. So, that's just how Akainu is. But this guy is trying to impress a dude like that. So he might even go further than Akainu would for the purposes of trying to impress him, right? Yeah. Yeah. Or he's just straight up insane. Yeah, he could be. Yeah. Do you think Roger told Whitebeard about the Earth being flooded? Maybe. Could have told him about that. Why didn't Roger tell Whitebeard? Why didn't he act? There's a lot of questions in One Piece that can kind of be... The more One Piece goes on, there's more questions about, like, how come this character didn't just do this? Why didn't this character act on this? Why didn't Whitebeard get together and go after Odin at Wano? It's like, yeah, I understand Kaido was there and people would have died, but, like, there's nothing you could have done. There's nothing you could have done. And it ultimately comes down to this. The Straw Hats are the ones that are going to solve these problems. Like, the reason Whitebeard didn't act, or Ace or Marco didn't act on it years prior, is because that was the story for Luffy to act. It creates a little bit of stress because it's basically like, hey, it's almost like Whitebeard's sitting there drinking. He's like, yeah, there might be some way that we could sneak into Wano and find out what's going on. We'll leave it for the main character. Glug, glug, glug. And it's... yeah, there's a little bit of that, there's a little bit, but it's not too bad in One Piece. Yeah, he is batshit insane, yeah, kind of. I also view him as somebody that's been very much indoctrinated into the world government's propaganda. Like, you got to imagine going to the public school system on world government-related nations is probably not very good. Though it's probably like a stand up and salute the world government flag and recite the world government creed. Like, all the nations are together. We all worship the Tenryubito, and to the Republic for the Gorosei, one nation under the shadow government with, it's that kind of shit. And, yeah, it's like Fire Nation school. Like, yeah, it is. And it's like the kids are just going to get, like, indoctrinated into that world and inculcated into that world. And Greenbull might just be somebody that just went along with it. Just like he was, like, one of the best... Like, he's like, oh, yeah, he's going places, kind of thing, yeah. Under Eam, the Holy Ghost. Dude, we were at me and my dad went to a baseball game last night. And they were having, like Boy Scout Day there. Like, there was a bunch of, like different troops there watching the game. And they had a thing before the game. So, every sports event in the United States, you say the national anthem, the Star Spangled Banner. I mean, that's a standard. But before that even... they had all the Boy Scouts come up and be like, we will now recite the Pledge of Allegiance, by Boy Scout Troop 164 or whatever the hell. And I'm like, wow, I haven't stood for the Pledge of Allegiance in years, like ever since like elementary school. We had to do that every day. And yeah, still remembered it though. Yeah. Greenbull's kind of like Kimimaro, kinda, yeah. I am too old for this shit, Ace. It's your brother's problem now. I'm too old. But aren't they technically indoctrinating Wano after the Straw Hats? I mean, like, yeah, you know what? It is a scary thing either way. It's a troubling thing where it's like on one end you have like Kaido is great. Orochi is amazing. The scabbards are bad. Okay. And then afterwards it's like, you got to be careful how you do this because you don't want the same shit to happen all over again. And I don't think it will. I think Momonosuke will have a good balance. But you don't want to go up there and be like, every member of the Kurozumi clan is an evil piece of shit. Just remember that. And Odin is amazing. You got to be careful. I feel you got to be careful whenever you straight up set up people to be deities. You got to be careful about setting up human beings as like more perfect than perfect. That's you got to be careful with that. Everybody's fallible. Everybody's a human being. This was the great founder. We all know the founder, right? The founder was the greatest man that ever lived. He was the founder. It's like, you're kind of talking about him like he's a god. Oh, he was close to one because he was the founder. I'm like, he was the founder. Okay, I'm going to go over here now, right? Just like, yeah, no, you got to be, it gets kind of culty really quick. Really quick. Yeah, look what happened with the Targaryens. Yeah, it's a good example. Was feeling down and didn't want to study for my summer class final. Put on your vids and crushed it. Keep it up. Sending love from Iraq. Okay, thank you. Good luck and I guess congratulations on your final. Congratulations. Hope you did good. Hope you come back good grades and all that. So this is Bartolomeo then. Yeah, basically. Bartolomeo looks at Luffy like, Luffy's amazing. Oh, dude. His name is Fajita, right? Yes. Yes. Fujitori's name is Fajita. That is a thing, yes. He was number one. Na 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 leader. Na 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 leader. Yeah, the whole episode of The Simpsons where they join a cult. Yeah. Which is genuinely terrifying. Like, we can make fun of it, but, like, there's people that have actually been in cults that have gotten away and told stories about it, and it's some of the darkest shit ever. So, it's still around, too. There are people that literally fall into this stuff. And it's not because they're dumb. It's not because they're stupid and they follow a cult, you know? They could be going through some really rough shit in their life. They might have just lost a loved one or something could be going. They could be struggling with drug addiction or something. And then somebody's just there to tell them that, like, hey, I have the answer to all your problems, and you're in a weakened kind of state of mind, and you go along with it. Next thing you know, you're in a cult shaving your head, and you're all praising the leader, and it's like, whoa, okay, where's this going? Right? Like, yeah, I mean, it's not as simple as just being stupid and getting into a cult. Let's do like a tree and get out of here. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, yeah, the Jonestown tragedy. I've read a lot of stuff about that and seen some documentaries on that. The survivors of that are very bright people. You know, they talk about it and the way they got involved in the cult and how they got out, and it's a crazy story, man. The Jonestown stuff, yeah, it's intense, very intense. Come to Australia sometimes. I will come to Australia sometime. I just got to make sure to have like a bandolier, or a utility belt filled with every type of anti-venom known to man. I'm just going to look up, like, what are the most venomous things in Australia that'll kill you? Hold on. Top 10 venomous animals in Australia. All right, let's see here. Top 10 most venomous animals in Australia. Okay. The inland taipon, that's a snake. The box jellyfish, I knew about those. The tiger snake. Great white shark. Are great white sharks venomous in Australia? Is that a thing? Why are you getting venomous sharks? The sharks have evolved to be venomous in Australia. Oh my dear Lord. The funnel web spider, the funnel web, that's the bad one. I've heard the funnel web spider is the worst one. The death adder, the saltwater crocodile. Oh my god, even the crocodiles are venomous. Huntsman spiders, yep. Yeah. All right, here we go. That's just a Google result. This is the actual list. Okay, top 10 most venomous animals in Australia. The inland taipon. Okay, that'll kill you. That's a snake. That'll kill you. The cone snail. One sting from this predatory snail could kill many adults. One component of its venom, which needs to be deadly and fast-acting, has an LD blah, blah, blah. A lot of venom. Box jellyfish, the brown snake, yellow-bellied sea snake. You yellow-bellied sea snake. Coastal taipon, mainland tiger snake, the Sydney funnel web spider. Yep, there it is. Beaked sea snake, and the blue-ringed octopus. Yeah. So that'll kill you. The huntsman, the funnel web is on here. Yeah. The funnel web is, Jesus Christ, look at that son of a bitch. Oh, God. Ooh. I'm not even that afraid of spiders, but this damn thing, look at that. Look at this thing. So yeah, I need to have, like, just a utility belt with every anti-venom with all of these, and I'll be good. And just have them labeled. Like, if I got bit by a sea snake, I'm like, all right, which one's the sea snake? Is this the yellow-bellied sea snake or the fucking, you know, what's the other one? Oh, God, I'm dying! Oh, no. As an Australian living in smaller cities, I've never encountered a single dangerous animal insect. Don't fear. No, these animals live there on the continent. Wait a minute. Wait a second, Sun Tree. The Australian dangerous animal stuff is media propaganda. Are you a venomous snake? Did a venomous snake somehow figure out how to make a YouTube account and comment that? Because that seems like something the snake would type. Hey, come down to Australia. It's fine. We're all good down here. Was that? Wait, no. The blue-ringed octopus. Octopi are intelligent. Octopuses are very intelligent. Did an octopus type that? An octopus was like, oh, no, come on down here. Hope all is well, Teching. Have you considered streaming Pirate Warriors 4? No, I haven't. I actually haven't played that many of One Piece games. Played like 2 or 3. Can't be the only one who'd love to see you play that game. You know, One Piece video games, man, they're not the greatest. Yeah, they're not the best, you know. It's sad because it feels like they should be or they could be, but it's just a lot of times we get a lot of the same stuff, and whenever they do get to try to do something new, it never coalesces. Like, there was Odyssey, which wasn't great, and I didn't like it anyway. And then there was what was that Infinite War? No, the one where Luffy's like Spider-Man and he like zips around on the, you know, with his gum powers like Spider-Man or whatever. That was another one. World Seeker, that was it. Yeah, World Seeker wasn't. I think World Seeker was okay. It got decent reviews, but like, apparently it's very hard to make a One Piece video game. I don't know. And I'm not a game designer, so I don't have any advice. I don't know what to tell you. But yeah. All right, so where do you want to go first after if the next chapter is going to be like we cut around the world to see what's going on? What's the first thing you want to see? Want to go through the super chats you missed? Yeah, we'll do that. But what's the first thing you want to see, you know, from all over the world? Dragon. Yeah, let's make a list. Dragon needs to make an appearance. Dragon's reaction. Nami's panties. Okay, Brooke. All right, Brooke, that's great. Bounty updates. Yeah, we'll write down bounties. I don't know how bounties are going to work moving forward, honestly. Shanks is a good one. The God's Knights. We need God Knight development. We need to know how many of these fuckers are there? How strong are they? What are their names? What are their freaking family names? What are their weapons? We just need to see stuff. Law. Yeah, Law. I want to see what's up with Law. I haven't seen Law in a hot minute. Eam. I want to see what Eam's reaction to all this crap is after Eam kind of recovers. Boa. York dying. Don Krieg is on here. Yeah, Don Krieg. Kizaru. I don't really care right now about Kizaru. Kizaru could be gone from the series for a little bit until we focus back up with him. He had his time in this arc. Moria. You know what? I would like to see if Moria and Perona got away and where they went. What happened to Hogback was my question, because they all survived Thriller Bark. Absalom died later. Perona went to go rescue Moria. Where's Hogback been this entire time? Has he been up to anything? I guess we didn't see him during the reaction. Maybe he died. Who knows? Smoker, yeah. What's in Smoker's box? Oh, 50 doll hairs from the Man. Love your videos. Watch everyone you post just because I just became a member, and also I watch your videos to study your work too. Helps a lot. Well, thank you. Thanks for the $50. Man. Maybe Hogback is reformed. Dude, if they had a Hogback redemption arc in the background, like, that'd be so weird considering how jacked up that guy was. Hogback joined the evil Black Drum Kingdom, like Wapple's Kingdom. I could see Hogback fitting right in as Wapple's chief physician. Like, I could see that. That actually fits perfect. Yeah, you know, Stussy. I'm writing Stussy down. We didn't even see Stussy, like, get away. I hope next chapter she pulls a Robin and, like, walks out of the sunny like she was there the whole time. Garp, yeah, Garp update. We need a Garp update here, sir. Yeah, Garp, Blackbeard, obviously. That's a big one. Yeah. We have to have the obligatory Nami and Robin bath scene. Oh, Robin, you were so wounded in that last fight. Let's take off your clothes. I was like, no, yeah. Katakuri update. I'm not going to write that one down. Katakuri, you know. Sengoku and Suru, yeah. Whoop slap. We always know what's up with whoop slap. What do you think was in that box Smoker was carrying? I actually do not know. I have no idea what was in that thing. What Smoker's been up to while everybody else has been adventuring. Yeah. Kobe. I'm just like Kobe, too. Yeah. I mean, we've been kind of keeping up with Kobe. He's in the hospital right now. So, like, you know, he's not in immediate danger anymore. But yeah, let's go through some super chats here. What do we got here? Top 10 boobs update. When? I was like, I don't know, man. We got to include Stussy on that list. I mean, it's a whole new kettle of fish. No, there's not going to be an update to the boob video. Was feeling down and didn't want to study for my summer class. Oh yeah, congratulations on that, man. Congrats to you. I was in Chipotle today. I was getting Chipotle, and there was like some college kids behind me, and they were talking about their finals, and they were just like, "Hey man, you got finals tomorrow?" He's like, "Yeah, I got this last class in econ." And he's like, "Okay, good luck to you, man." And he's like, "Yeah." And I'm just sitting there waiting to like, well, I'm actually thinking of like, oh, what am I gonna get in my bowl? And I was like, but I'm also like, yes, college. I remember college. Because this year, 2014, this will be 10 years since I started university. It's crazy. It's been so long. As an avid D&D viewer of you and Briggs, if the OP doesn't get a spinoff, I'd love D&D breakdowns. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know where we're going from here. I couldn't tell you. I do not know where we're at right now. What Rustage has planned. Poor Lilith. Imagine being the person telling her, hey, yeah, everyone you knew is dead, but cheer up, we're going to Elbaf. We're going to giant country, Lilith. Yeah, Lilith is going to wake up. Well, I mean, like, York is still alive. So maybe Lilith might be like, maybe I could try to reform York at some point. Maybe I could talk to her because she's the only one left. She's the only one left. But no, she isn't the only one left because Punk Records is still alive. As long as Vegapunk's brain is... They saved Vegapunk's brain. I feel like as long as Vegapunk's brain is still alive, there's still some options. Now that Egghead is done, what do you think was amiss in the arc? I mean, I talked about a lot of stuff this time. I feel like there wasn't a lot of character development with the Straw Hats where it could have been. I feel like the ending was unnecessary with the flashback. But there was so many other strong points in the arc. I mean, I love the Gorosei getting involved. That was a shock moment that I did not think was going to happen. The stuff with the Iron Giant being revealed. And, you know, learning about Vegapunk to begin with. We didn't learn as much about Devil Fruits as we thought we were going to, but we still could in the future. Luffy getting a rematch with Lucci. You know, like that of Kuma's backstory was amazing. Like, there's so many strong points of the arc, but there are some weak points as well. Yeah, Vegapunk explaining Devil Fruits didn't really go anywhere. It was just like, human desire creates them. I'm like, all right, do you want to expand upon that at all? Not really. We will see Saturn and Eamon the post-Egghead, and now how do we deal with the Straw Hats from now on? Yeah, I mean, like, they might be like, well, yeah, what do we do now that Luffy's running around with the Sun God power? Like, do we do something about that? Do we go to Elbaf? Like, what do we do? You know, because they got other stuff to worry about, too. They have the Revolutionaries to worry about. Vegapunk does not know what the One Piece is. Do you think that Fuji... I answered that one already. Hey, Tekking, have you or anyone you know thought about how... Wait, hold on a minute, so you guys can see this. How about how One Piece might be a story of when the good guys go bad? Like, what if the Allied Kings were good and the Ancient Kingdom the villains? I've said this before. Do not think of the Ancient Kingdom or, like, the Allied forces as, like, one was good, one was evil. You know, because we want to think that. We want to just assume that the Allied forces were evil and the Ancient Kingdom and Joy Boy were good. I think what Oda's going for here is neither of them were good nor evil. Okay, they were both in the gray area. It's going to be more complicated than that. Now, the way that it is right now, like Eam is, like, clearly evil. I mean, like, unless you do a spin on it where, like, Eam is like, no, because, I mean, I might be oppressing the world with the government, but if I didn't do that, if I didn't oppress the world with the government, then the world would explode, or there might be worse things out there than the government. You know, there could be a spin of that. That doesn't take away anything, all the fucked up slavery shit that Eam and the world government are doing, but that might be a spin Oda might want to take. Like, Eam is like, I'm actually the one that's preventing the world from being destroyed, and it's like, what? You know, it's like it could go that way. Maybe those weird eldritch things in the Thriller, in the Florian Triangle, they might be like something that Eam is keeping at bay or something. I don't know. And yes, this is the plot of Mistborn, but it's been used before that. Yeah. Let's see. Silver Age bullshit comics are good. Who farted in the chat? I don't know. It might have been that octopus. Was it ever explained how Vegapunk split his consciousness? No. What if Kabuto is armament hockey? It is not. Zeus is not a Straw Hat. He's like a familiar, you know? It's like in Baldur's Gate when you summon a familiar and he like adds on to your little crew, but he's not actually a member of your party. That's what Zeus is. Yeah, I'll get back to you on the email there, Banning. Do you think Lilith will join Neomads? No. I think Lilith's going to stay away from Neomads. You can add one zone mythological devil fruit to the story based on Greek mythology. The Cyclops would be good. No. If we're just doing all of Greek mythology, Geryon would be a cool one. Or Geryon, like he's massive, like 3-headed dude. He's one of Hercules' labors. I've always liked that guy. He's a cool dude. The Hecatoncrates would be cool too. Yeah. Checking in with characters between arcs, Dragon, Buggy, shadowy figure. So you must be, he knows Kizu. Yeah, like he was like, you must be the man marked by flames. You know what I mean? Like, yes. Any thoughts regarding Luffy's seemingly higher intelligence? I think Luffy's just learning some shit. I think Luffy is beginning to like understand that like I can't just stumble and bumble my way through this shit because we're now getting into the final saga and I kind of got to shape up if I want like to get the One Piece. Like he's still a goofy, lackadaisical guy sometimes, but I'll be honest with you, like ultimately like he has to realize shit's getting live now and he needs to shape up a bit if he wants to get to be the Pirate King. So random theory that popped into my head, what if Eam used Uranus to create the seas as a defense against devil fruits if he fired 100 shots around the red line and 50 to make each combat? Like maybe it could have worked something like that. Like definitely that weapon is fired off before. You know, I don't know if it's fired off like 100 times or anything like that, but definitely that weapon was used a lot during the Ancient Kingdom, but it was used by the Ancient Kingdom during the Ancient Kingdom, and then Eam got his hands on it later. So I'm not really sure how that works. But definitely something in the ancient weapons it definitely created the flood, but might have also contributed to the red line as well. Like, if the rising sea levels are a byproduct of using Uranus, maybe a byproduct of using Pluton is the red line or something, maybe. Idea for a video that I got while watching the reaction of Robin to Saul's survival. Which of the Straw Hats know of each other's backstory? That's a good question. Like, do the Straw Hats actually sit down and talk to each other about their backstories? Like, how much does Jinbei know about how Robin lived on Ohara? Like, it's a question. Like, do they talk about it? Or do they just, like, they're on the ship together and they don't really mind too much? Like, if they don't want to talk about it, they don't have to talk about it kind of thing. I feel it's more like that. Yeah, being smart does not mean that you're wise. That's true. Yep. Answered that one. Buggy's a space pirate. Yeah, he's a space clown from like the killer clowns from outer space. Vegapunk's plan made sure that the world government feels they have won so they don't continue to harass the Straw Hats. Vegapunk's plan made sure that the world government feels they have won so they don't continue to harass Straw Hats. How does the world government come out of this thinking that they won? Because if I was a member of, like, if I was Eam right now, I'd be pissed. You know what I mean? Like, I'd be mad as hell after what happened to Egghead. Answered that one about Game of Thrones. I wonder why Bonnie's hockey affecting. Yeah, so Bonnie's ability is really good because apparently even after getting shot with hockey, it didn't wear off. So Doll was still like a kid. I assume Bluegrass was as well. And they didn't go back to their original forms even after the hockey bomb, and they lost consciousness. So yeah, Bonnie's power is just broken strong. I mean, we kind of already knew that, but it's really broken apparently. Yeah, and you could look at that like, isn't this kind of like a little bit of a plot hole? I would say it kind of is. I would say it's something maybe Oda just didn't think about, but that's me. That's, you know. Why did you rank Peter so low? He looks the most regal out of the Gorosei. I mean, I just don't. He's all right, I guess. If we're just ranking their human forms, I like Ethan. Marcus looks the coolest to me. I think he looks the most regal. Yeah. Do you think there is a reason why Vegapunk made the satellites representing his vices to be women? People have brought that up. People have mentioned okay, hold on a minute here. So the 3 Vegapunks that are presenting male are good, creativity, and wisdom. And the 3 Vegapunks that present female are evil, violence, and greed. Yeah, I think Oda could have executed that a little bit better. I don't think that was the intention. But I can see where you're coming from there. That like, yeah, that one's maybe could have done another pass over it. Like maybe one of the editors at some point could have been like, maybe you should like switch these two or something. Yeah. I get it. Stream discussing Strahd's favorite shows in the real world. Ooh, that would be a fun one. That'd be a nice tier list. Now, I don't know how I don't think I'd be able to do tier list with that, but it might be a fun stream. Do we know Vegapunk's first name? Rick. Rick Vegapunk. Canon. If you could have any One Piece mystery revealed to you right now, which one would it be, and what order do you think the questions will be revealed all at once, sprinkled throughout thoughts? If I could ask Oda, like he could tell me any mystery of the entire One Piece world right now. Well, I'm not asking him about the One Piece. I'm not asking him about the Void Century. I want to find out that shit organically. But in terms of what... Okay. I would probably ask what the deal is with either Eni's Lobby, the giant hole in the ocean. Like, tell me the story of that. Like, and if it involves something too close to the One Piece, you could just stop there. But like, tell me something about how that works. Like, how is that island floating? And then also, maybe I would just ask about those things at Thriller Bark. Like, what are those things at the Florian Triangle? Like, what are they? Just tell me that. Like, you don't have to go into great detail. But be like, oh, it's like an eldritch being that existed during the time of the Void Century, and we're gonna focus on that. Like, okay, that's good enough. Thank you. Yeah. Greetings from New Zealand. Have a berry, and as always, geography is everything. Thank you for the berries. Barry is a vampire now. He's got cool vampire wings. We gotta get him, we gotta make him like a jabot, a jabot, a cravat, or cravat kind of thing, and like a little gem in it. I'm gonna make some for him. Yeah, thank you. How close are we from learning how Teach ate 2 devil fruits? Maybe close, I don't know. I know the video you're talking about, what gave me the idea. Oh yeah, I read that one already. Thank you, Rimuru. What events characters do you want to focus on before we get to Elbaf? And do you think Arouge appeared? I answered that one. I want to see... we just made a list of all that, but I would like to see Arouge again, yeah. Answered that one. I don't think Aranos is going to show up again. I think it needs time to, like, recharge. Any more beard characters? We've still yet to see Bluebeard. Bluebeard the pirate. And Greenbeard. We've yet to see. There's a lot of colors of beards we've yet to see yet. Game of Thrones World answered that one. Brown beard video, yeah. Yeah, One Piece X Fortnite would be funny. I mean, I could see them doing it. Running around, like Luffy running around with an AK-47. Like, I could see him doing it, sure, yeah. It's just a skin. It's just like an aesthetic thing they could add in. Although they could add Luffy swinging around with the Gumu Gumu no Mi. That would be kind of cool. I could see them like getting a power-up for Gear 5th. I could see them doing that. We kind of talked about that in the other stream, about Usopp's power-ups in Elbaf. We discussed that. Yeah, Egghead's as long as the Sky Island. It's like slightly longer, I think. Yeah, Robin and Saul's reunion's going to be good. And I think I answered all these ones, yeah. Yeah, the Grand Fleet, I think, is going to do some... Well, no, I think the Grand Fleet at this point might show up either at Elbaf or the Final War. Yeah, one of the two. Is Oda making a pun on the red herring? Yeah. All right. Yeah, I think I got all these ones. All right. How is Sengoku's cracker stock in his pantry? I mean, Sengoku is a man that loves his rice crackers, so they're filled to the brim. He has every flavor. He has like every flavor of Triscuit and Wheat Thins in there. He's got all of them. How will you rate the arc out of 10? And is Vegapunk the top 3 smartest person in the One Piece behind Nami and Ben Beckman? I mean, Vegapunk is clearly the smartest person in the world. It's just that in the East Blue, it was Nami, Kuro, and Ben Beckman. Although Ben Beckman was mentioned to be from the North, so that's another thing later that Oda, like, you know, might have forgotten about. Any thoughts on Frankie getting completely sidelined this arc? We just talked about that. I wish we would have had more with Frankie, absolutely. That I could rely on for the past 5 years other than others have come and gone, but you are eternal. I've been at this for almost half my life now. Like, so 15 years I've been having the channel. Oh, jeez. Any parallels between Usopp versus Luffy and Aokiji versus Garb? I noticed some there, definitely. It gave me Truman vibes. Love your content, brother. Oh, thank you, Milk. I was gonna say Mike. Thanks, Mike. Yeah. The whole, well, not student and teacher with Luffy and Usopp, but like you guys were friends and now you're fighting. It's understandable. Can watch Frank and Bravo for Halloween stream. I don't know what that is, but we should watch something funny for Halloween or some horror movie for Halloween, definitely. Yeah, Vegapunk. Well, no. See, Vegapunk is not the smartest man in the world because he has the brain fruit. He's the smartest man in the world already. The brain fruit just allows him to store an infinite amount of information. But he would have been a genius no matter what. The brain fruit didn't make him a genius. Just makes him able to remember anything he wants at any time. Do you think Arouge will have a role to play in the story? I hope, since we did Bonnie with the Egghead arc, can we just have Arouge be relevant in Elbaf somehow, like incorporate him in, and then we can have all the supernovas have a moment? Yeah. Oh, you skipped my super. Okay, Feinar. Let's see what we got here. Top 3 characters in Kingdom. Oh my god. Oh, there was more than I thought. Okay, hold on. Well, thank you, everybody. Hold on, let me just see where I left off here. All right, okay. Paratory 4 super chats you've missed. Okay, so I missed these two. Now that Wano is over, one random detail I like is under Kaido, he had King, Queen, Jack, and Joker, and under Joker was the Spade, Heart, Diamond, and Club, but the one card Kaido didn't have was the Ace. Just a fun Oda-style thing. Yeah, that was all themed after playing cards the entire way. Ace was the Ace, obviously, and then there's also an Ace's crew. They're also like the Masked Deuce and the piece of Spadil, or they were the Spade Pirates. So there were references there as well. Yeah, I like that little aesthetic that they did. Thanks for the 20, Solus. My favorite 3 characters in Kingdom are Toe, and I really like... Hold on a minute. I'm thinking, because there's so many goddamn characters in Kingdom. There's so many. Riboku, I actually kind of feel bad for him in a lot of regards. I kind of want him dead, but at the same time, I kind of feel bad for the dude. So I'm going to go Riboku. And there's so many characters. It's hard to just pick 3. I would say... I could just say Shin, but he's the main character, so it's like, he is up there, definitely. But Sei is good. We'll go with Sei. But where's that other chat? Okay. Why do you think Roger seemingly told Shanks something about the One Piece but not Buggy? Seems weird. No, it doesn't seem weird to me, because I think... if we're going to look at it, I don't think Roger looked at Buggy and Shanks the same way. I don't think, he's like, Shanks, I'll tell you this, and I'll also tell you this, Buggy. I think Roger was looking at Shanks as kind of more of, his son, and more of, he's got the prowess to be the next big player in the pirate world. Not to say it's not like he hated Buggy or neglected Buggy, but I think he definitely... looked to Shanks more of his favorite son rather than Buggy. That's the best way to look at it. Yeah. Read the manga, good ending. Surprised when I found out you did a video review of it 11 years ago. Yeah, Good Ending was a series. It was done by Sasuke K. She also did Domestic Girlfriend. And I liked Good Ending. That was a good manga. Cat, you missed my super chat. Okay, gotcha. Just let me know and I'll go back and check, because there's a lot of super chats. All right. Where are you? Is it near the beginning? I don't see it. Cat. I don't see it on here. Go back. Oh, there it is. Been sub for a while. Got me through tough times. Thanks, Kat. I think that's it. Yeah. Thank you for the chat. Down further, up further, down further. I think he told... Yeah, and also, we don't know what Roger told Shanks. Like, I don't think Roger sat Shanks down and told him, like, this is where the One Piece is. I think he said something else. Like, I think he might have just said, well, we got there too early, we couldn't do anything with it, and I'm gonna die now anyway. I think that's what he told Shanks, because Shanks was crying, and I think he was crying because Roger wouldn't be able to realize his dream before he died. Like, it's the cruelest thing from Shanks' perspective. Like, we're fighting all the way, and you finally made it to the One Piece, and it's this really rare thing, and it's like, can't do anything about it for 20 years. And it's like, well, Roger's going to be dead in 20 years. So I think that's why Shanks was crying. Do you agree with the theory that Binks and Joy Boy are the same person? I could see that. Yeah, I could definitely see that. Or maybe Binks was a guy, like the musician on Joy Boy's crew. I'm still not 100% we are clear we didn't see Kizaru in chapters. Sasaga had a new manga. Should read it. Oh, she does. I need to check that out then. Yeah. I'm still not 100% we are in the clear. We didn't see Kizaru in the chapter. No. Oh, we're in the clear now. No, Kizaru's not going to show up and attack the ship. No, we're done. We're Egghead's over. We're going to Elbaf next. Yes, we're definitely going to Elbaf. Absolutely. Yeah, Caribou's going to tell Blackbeard all about, like, the ancient weapons of Pluton and Poseidon. That's going to cause some issues for the final saga, definitely. Yeah, we're going to get a lot of Vicky the Viking references. Vicky the Viking is, I don't know if it was a comic or a manga. I think it was a manga that Oda grew up with in, like, the 70s. It might not even have been a manga. It might have been, like, a Norwegian thing. Hold on a minute. What was it? It was, like, an old thing from, like, the 70s. Vicky the Viking, animated television series. It was Germany and Austria. Yeah. In Japan is an animated television series when the adventures of Vicky, a young Viking boy who uses his wit. It's based off the novel from 1963. The animated show was in 1974. So yeah, Oda would have been a kid watching this. So it's a big influence if you look into, like, the Giants and Little Garden and everything what Oda talks about. It's a big influence in all that. Yeah. My theory is Joy Boy's real name is Kozuki Binks. I don't think his real name is going to be Kozuki Binks, but hey, that's a good theory. Going with it. I love Vicky the Viking. I loved it so much, and that's why I started One Piece, because he liked it as well. Yeah, that's a cool, a lot of old school references that Oda makes, because he is 49 years old. He did grow up in the 70s. Yeah. All the hype Kizaru got saying he might be stronger than Kaido. Now Kizaru has been pushed to the side. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think Kizaru could have beaten Kaido after seeing in this arc. After seeing what Kizaru was capable of, and then seeing what Kaido was capable of, yeah. Which Bleach character would have King's Hockey? Yamamoto and Aizen, like, easily. All the Zero Squad members would. Yuha definitely would. If you could eat a Logia, not counting a Yami no Mi, what would it be? I like Kizaru or Aramaki's. If I could eat any, I don't want to turn into goop. I don't want to turn into sticky goo. So I'm not eating the Numa no Mi. I don't want the magma fruit. I don't want to be oozing magma that can destroy everything around me. You know, like, probably, the snow fruit wouldn't be bad. Can turn into snow and I never get cold. That actually isn't a bad idea. I'll eat the snow fruit. Or I guess the Hiya no Mi would be better. Yeah, we only got 2 new moves from Kizaru. We got I-beams and clones, and that was it. Yeah. I've been a big fan the last 7 years. Have you thought about who's staying and watching Laboon while Crocus was on Roger's ship? Yeah, I have thought about that. I'm assuming Crocus knew someone. Okay. It could have been Shiki. Yeah. It could have been Shiki. Because Shiki... One moment. Hold on a second. Let me pull something up. Hey, Shiki, can you watch this whale for me? It could have been. Okay. Because... Oh, that's not the one. Oh, well, hold on. Let me see if I can get a full image of this. Here it is. Here it is. Yeah, Shiki is 100% canon. Okay. So, here's the cover page, right? It shows Crocus and Shiki. I mean, we don't know it's Shiki because we can't see their face, but it looks like Shiki. We see those two exchanging sake cups, and Laboon seems to be having a good time back there. Laboon's like, Laboon! You know, he's having a fun time. So, Shiki was a member of Rox's crew 38 years ago at God Valley, but then at God Valley, Rox's crew disbanded. So then that means Shiki had to go off and do something else. Then after Roger had been executed, Shiki was captured and thrown and impelled down. I think that part is still canon, but that would have been after Roger had already disbanded his crew. So Roger, in the last year of the journey, like 26 years ago, recruits Crocus. They pick up Odin from Whitebeard's crew. They travel for like a year. They find the One Piece 25 years ago. He becomes king of the pirates. Then they disband and he goes back home. Crocus would go back home as well. So the timelines match up. It would have been after Shiki was a member of Rox's crew, but before he was thrown and impelled down. So maybe he asked Shiki to watch the whale for him. No, I don't think it's Scopper. No, the hair is completely different. Even if you want to say the coloring's off, the hair is completely different and the outfit is completely different. And the hat is, unless Scopper completely changed every aspect of his design and the way he dresses, it's not Scopper. Flying whales. Morley also broke out before Shiki did. Yes, Morley did, yes. If Vegapunk decided to fight, what do you think would have happened? Do you think world government would have stopped Buster Call to save Mother Flame? I mean, it's kind of weird that they did a Buster Call anyway when they knew there was so many valuable things on that island. It doesn't even make sense to me that they tried to do a Buster Call because it's like shit that you need, you know, but whatever. Isn't Scopper the ball guy who taught Luffy Golden Hockey? Yeah, that guy. Oh, what the hell are you talking? Golden Hockey? Like, yeah. Actually, I remember that. I remember that arc now. I remember the arc, the Tower in the Sky arc. I remember that arc. Yeah. The solo leveling arc of One Piece. I remember that. Yeah. Yes, Kuma's backstory seemed like its own arc. Yeah, it really did feel like it. Yeah. Yeah, you don't know about Golden Hockey. You're not a One Piece fan. I'll tell you that. They Buster called their own base. What logic are we talking about here? Yeah, I mean, honestly, right? By that logic, if Marineford had a Buster Call summon, would they destroy Marineford? Like, you gotta question some stuff. Yeah, Scopper would teach bronze hockey. Now, Scopper is the guy in RuneScape that shows you how to combine copper and tin to make bronze bars. He's that guy. He's hanging out on Tutorial Island. Yeah, the egg on Roger's ship. Yeah, we still don't know the whole story behind that. Where was the video on the egg? The egg. Here it is. Yeah, I mean, it's an egg. It's on there. It was the greatest breakfast that anybody ever had. And there's like an image of the boat. You see it on there? Yeah. It's a Yoshi. It's a Yoshi egg. They made a giant omelet. What if the egg is like a dragon egg and it was going to take a while to hatch and like Scopper had to keep track of it and he's been watching an egg for the last 20 years waiting for it to freaking hatch? You know, that maybe it's that. Maybe it is that. Yeah, Dofi will probably break out soon. I think Dofi's going to be relevant for the final battle, yeah. There'll be other people in Impel Down that'll break out too, like probably the rest of his crew, like, you know, Treble and Pika and everybody. If Pika can get, if Pika can break out of Sea Prism, Pika can take control of that entire prison. So that's actually, he's actually really dangerous to be trapped in there, because if they do not keep him under constant, like, Sea Prism, like, he can literally take over all of Impel Down. He could turn Impel Down into, like, a mobile fortress, maybe. But yeah, we've been going for about an hour and a half, so yeah, I'll probably be ending this soon. Let me just go through some more super chats here. Any ones that I missed? Do you agree that Robin, whilst a great assassin, was never a proper hand-to-hand fighter, so she didn't learn hockey because during the 2-year time skip she needed to get physically stronger in a combat style? I would imagine most of the time Robin was able to be an assassin. She didn't need to learn, like, over-the-top crazy techniques because her ability is so damn good when it comes to assassination. Like, she could literally go up to a dude's window and a guy's, like, asleep, and she could just look through the window and summon her hand and just, like, knife, and then just call it a day. Like, it would be so easy for her to commit, like, assassination things. But yeah, in the last 2 years, she's like, oh, I actually have to train in a way that I haven't done before. So, yeah, that's why she learned a little bit of Fishman karate from the revolutionaries, from Koala. I don't think anyone would like to become Goop. Well, it depends on what your opinion is of Goop. Out of these two, Aizen and Urahara, which one would take the throne? I would say Urahara. I would say Urahara ultimately is the smartest person in Bleach. More than Mayuri, more than Aizen. Urahara is the most brilliant. The most devious, too. Yeah. Yeah, I think it might have been Shiki. And I answered these ones. Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. I mean, I guess we talked about the chapter a decent bit. I mean, yeah. Her ability is quite handy, you would say. Crocus could be Kureha's son. What do you think? No, I don't think. See, I'm not of the opinion that every character that has something in common with another character has to be blood related. That's why I am so happy that, you know, Oda didn't just make Roger Luffy's dad. You know, like he could have done that. He could have been like, Luffy, your dad was the king of the pirates, and he had the Gumu Gumu no Mi before you, and you're gonna have to be the king of the pirates too, and you're also gonna get the Gumu Gumu no Mi. Like, I'm so glad they didn't do that shit with Roger. They didn't just make him Luffy's dad, or, you know, the previous user of his fruit. You know, you're just like, it's the inherited will that matters. I don't want Crocus to be related to Kureha. I don't think that adds anything to the story, you know. Naruto, your dad was the Hokage. Yeah, I mean, like, it's just one of those things I've seen so many times before. It's been done so many times. Can we get something different here, you know? In fact, I was just thinking about this the other day. I was having a conversation with somebody on the best. I'll end it out with this because this is unrelated to One Piece altogether, but the best way to start a D&D campaign, right? And me and a friend were talking about this, and it's like, it's always either a tavern, like you're in a tavern or an inn, or you're in a prison cell, right? And those make sense. It's not like they're doing that just because they're boring and trivial. No, it makes sense to do that. Like, you're in a tavern, so it makes sense. There's people coming in and going, so you have to have a moment where all your player characters meet each other for the first time, right? So it's like tavern makes sense. Like, I don't know, you have let's say you have a fighter and a rogue and a cleric and a wizard, right? So, like the rogue is in the corner being all mysterious and emo, or he's very charismatic like William, and he's like playing cards with some people. And then the fighter walks in and he's a big meathead and he's like, get ready to drink down the house. Clark, the great fighter is here. And then you have the wizard at the bar who's sipping some wine, and she's like, could you calm down, meathead? I am trying to enjoy my, could you dial it down just a couple of notches here? It's indoor voice, please, son. Indoor voice. Who you calling a meathead? And that's when the cleric gets up and is like, all right, everybody, let's not fight here. And then the rogue is like, yes, of course, let's not fight. Come here and play a game of cards with me. Like, there you go. Like, it's an easy way for the player characters to get all together and shit, right? You do that. I think vast majority is a tavern, or it's a prison cell, because that's the best way. That's probably even better than a tavern, right? Because like I had to figure out some way to get all 4 of these player characters in the room together. You wake up in a prison cell, and there's just you guys and maybe a random NPC. Like, it's like, I'm Old Man Jenkins. I've been in this jail cell my whole life. Well, how old are you? I don't know. They don't let me keep a calendar in here. It's like, oh no. And then the guard comes over and he's like, oi, mate, shut up. And he sticks a spear through the thing and kills Old Man Jenkins. They killed Old Man Jenkins. And that's when the fighter grabs the spear and like does some things and stabs the guard, and the rogue picks up some shit on the ground and makes a like a little like lockpick thing, and they get out and they escape, and they got to get through the castle together. It's like, so these are like the ways most D&D campaigns start. But you got to be clever sometimes. You got to be like, what are some other ways that a D&D campaign can start, Or shipwrecked. Shipwrecked is a good one. Yeah. I always thought it would be funny to start a campaign on a garbage barge. You wake up on a garbage barge in the middle of the river. You don't know where you're going, but you're surrounded by trash. And that'd be cool because like you could be like, all right, I rummage around in the trash. Roll investigation. What do you get? You could like, I found an old rusty sword. It's like, oh, okay, you could do, it's something, right? Or it's a trash pile. You could even do a thing where like you roll, like let's say you roll a 20 investigation. I'd be like, you know what? You find a ring that somebody might have thought it was a mundane ring, but it turns out it's a magical ring and it can shoot like firebolt or something. You know what I mean? Like you could even do that shit. I think that would be kind of fun. Start a campaign on a garbage barge. You could do that, by the way. Go ahead and have that. Yeah. Labyrinth would be fun. Labyrinth wouldn't be bad. Yeah. You find the one ring in a pile of like in a pile of a used fast food cup. You find the one ring. Teching for next DM. I have been thinking about running something online like a D&D of like some I have no idea what I'm doing yet. Like I literally just thought of this idea yesterday. I was actually messing with Roll20 a bit though. Because I'm like, I would need to learn how to use Roll20 like perfectly. Like I want to know exactly how Roll20 works. So I was messing with that. And I was thinking of like who I would get. Because like a lot of like the One Piece D&D crew, they're great, but they're also very, very busy. Like Briggs is part of like 3 D&Ds plus Rant Cafe, plus we do Yu-Gi-Oh, plus he does all his streams. So I'm trying to think of some other people that I would invite to this. But I don't know how it would even go yet. So we'll see how it goes. It probably wouldn't be a themed, though. It wouldn't be like One Piece D&D or Bleach D&D. It would be just, it would be like my own homebrew thing or whatever is what it would be. But we'll see where it goes. I don't know. I literally just had this idea yesterday and I was just throwing it around. But anyway, I think that's a good place to end it out there. So I'm going to end it. Thanks for watching, everyone. Yeah, I'm going to go eat the rest of that Chipotle I have upstairs because that was some good Chipotle. Yeah. Normal D&D, how dare you? How dare you, teching? It's like, all right. But I don't know. I gotta think of how I would do this, And it would probably be a one-shot, and then, it'd be like, all right, let's if I do go ahead with this, get some people together, do a one-shot, see how it goes, and then pan out from there, right? Anyway. All super chats read. I believe they were. That's the last one. Yeah, the Dofi one. That's the last one I read. I went through the other ones, so I'm pretty sure I got all of them. Thanks for watching, everybody. And I will be bye. Gone. See ya. See ya later, alligators. Don't remember hearing mine. See, I was waiting for that. How Birdier V2. Yeah, I was waiting for somebody to be like, wait a minute, I didn't do it. Because that always happens. I'll end the stream, and then somebody will message, like, you didn't read mine. I'm like, ah, damn it. So I'm like, hold on. We'll do this at the end. Like, is everybody's super chat has been read? We'll check at the end here. All right. How? I have a feeling I went past it. Let me check it on the bottom here. Start at the top. Thank you guys for the generous donations this time around. There was a lot of super chats this week. Thank you. I do not see this. Hold on. Let me pull it up in the thing. Hold on. Let me look it up on the yeah. How Birdier V2 near the beginning. Okay, cool. Let me look at that then. Whoop. Still not seeing it. Let me just... Oh, there it is. There, I got it. I wonder why Bonnie's Devil Fruit affecting hockey and the other... No, I answered this one. Yeah, I answered this one. Yeah, it's weird. I think it's something Oda forgot, because it really doesn't make any logical sense that if you just exert hockey to negate a Devil Fruit ability or an effect, that hockey burst from Emeth did not affect, you know, Bonnie's Devil Fruit on Doll. So I really think it's just a thing that got forgotten by Oda. Because, yeah, Doll should have turned back to her original form. But it's not that big of a deal. Yeah, Chandler, again, with the spamming. Spoilers for next chapter. I don't even think they're out yet. So I can't really give that. But anyway, thank you for watching, everybody. Teching 101, signing out. Later, all. Bye.